Hello and welcome to the show. My name is David Dadakian with Eat, Drink, Rhode Island, and with me today is a dear friend and coincidentally a distant cousin, uh, Christine Arvanigian, co-owner of the Federal Hill Pizza behemoth. Right? It's growing at every leap and bound.
Sure.
And
I
hello,
feel
Christine.
like we should practice our last names so you can get your accent better.
I don't.
An accent.
Look, I'm just glad that I don't really have a thick Rhode Island accent. So don't add a new accent on top of it.
All right. So Dedekian.
Dedekian.
Yes.
Say it with some strength.
Well, say Arvanigian with some strength.
Arvanigian. Right?
It's better than like what some people will say, but
geez,
it's a higher standard. Let's get real.
You're right. You should. I appreciate that. I
like it when Manzo comes in and leaves a bill here.
So there you are. You're at the Providence location of the two.
I am. Yeah.
Warren and Providence, Federal Hill Pizza, and soon to be Airport Federal Hill Pizza.
We have Green. Yep. And so our oven was broken in Warren.
Oh, geez.
For like Saturday and Sunday. So, but we had this great guy come and fix it. So we're back in business.
Oh, good. Well, this isn't just about business. This is also about you. I want to interview you, and the folks that I talk to on this series. I want to learn a bit about them. Or I know a lot, but I want the public to learn a lot. So tell us, where'd you come from? Where'd you grow up? Your family?
I grew up in Worcesterin, as the Armenians would say. I grew up in Worcester with my mom, my dad. I have a younger sister. I have an older brother. We had a family business while I was growing up. It's called the Halloween Outlet. And I pretty much ran that business for my family for most of my years until I met my husband. And then I sort of transitioned, it was like always half there, like 1 foot in the door there, 1 foot in the door here until maybe like 2000 and what are we in, 20? So maybe 2014, 2015, retail Halloween was on the decline. Like my parents started that when it was, nobody was doing it. The word pop-up was actually coined for our Halloween stores from my dad. Like that was his thing.
Yeah.
He just, he never wanted business partners. He barely like graduated high school. Like he's just an entrepreneur in all of the sense, like had a vision. He was lucky enough to have my mom side by side with him who, worked the numbers, worked that part of it so he could focus on the ideas. And, to their testament, they were in business for 34 years in the Halloween business.
That's great.
And so, we had 10 stores at one point. And that was like, I'll use the catchphrase of the month. That was my wheelhouse, retail Halloween. And I was good at it and I loved it. And, I like talking to customers. It's like, I like being with people. That's cool. Yeah. So, my husband actually had a really good idea in like 2014, 2015. He's like, why don't you just license the name? And so I found one of my vendors actually who sold me Halloween goods. He wanted to be in business. So he rented the spot in my family's building and licensed the name for like 2 years. So I just stayed at home and came here to work, and he paid me every month. So, but I think a lot of people don't understand, like when you're running a business, like I wasn't driving Range Rover by osmosis. I fucking worked 100 hours a week.
Right.
And so I think that some people, not all people, sometimes you might think like, oh, it looks easy. Well, there was a machine behind that of like.
Well, what do you mean? It was a Halloween store. You were only open for 2 months a year, right?
We're only open for 2 months a year. No problem. Like, yeah. But it was like one of our flagship stores, the 30,000 square foot store, that we were open all year. And so it takes all year to gear up for those 2 months. And it's make it or break it.
Right.
So,
that's a very good point. Yeah, you only have 2 months to do all the sales that you need to for the year.
We moved into our new building. September 11th happened. That was our first Halloween in our new building that we bought.
Wow.
And I mean, believe me, we've had like snowstorms where the lights went off, where Dad had me like legit with flashlights walking people around 30,000 square feet to like sell them Halloween products. I mean, this is how I grew up. We're a never say die type of family.
Right.
Yes, I thrive in chaos and hardship. I think it's what I know.
Well, you could survive just about anything, right? You could survive genocide.
We survived the genocide. We can survive COVID-19.
Exactly. Right. You can survive Halloween blackouts. Yeah, exactly.
All of it. So yeah. So at some point, like I met Billy, and he was doing his thing at Sakar. That was coming to an end. We started. He was doing some wholesale, and then I started helping him with that. And through his tenacity, he would just he'll call people on the phone and be like dialing the extensions until he gets to the right person. And from that, he got us into 200 supermarkets, like literally just from him dialing the phone. And obviously the product is phenomenal, but
that was the wholesale dough.
Yeah. So that's what we did. And then at some point we realized we can't get into the Massachusetts locations that we want to, or we couldn't do it fast enough, I guess. So, at that time, like in anything in life, those guys were getting free trips to Mexico and the buyers, just stuff that we couldn't compete with.
Right.
It was like me, Billy, a driver, a baker, doing 200 locations. So we had the analytics to say we sell the most dough in these markets. So let's figure out where we're going to open a retail spot. And that's sort of how we found Warren, because we knew we sold a lot of dough on the East Bay. And then we've been there about 10 years. We've grown on in that space. I need a bigger kitchen. So anybody that is on the East Bay and Warren.
That is a small spot.
Yeah, it's a small spot.
I remember that was one of the first places I reviewed many years ago when I wrote for the Bay. And we were busy then. And so, it's only gotten busier.
Only bang out so many pizzas out of that kitchen.
Right. Exactly.
And we're at that limit. And I want to buy the building, and the landlord doesn't, is an absentee landlord. And so to negotiate that deal is, do I really want to buy the building? If it's the kitchen's too small, would I be able to, but
how would you plan?
Right. So the COVID thing has helped because I've been able to slow down my real work to do the things that we haven't been able to accomplish. So
that's good.
So I think we've grown leaps and bounds in the last 8 weeks just because the extraneous white noise hasn't been there, which is the stuff that I get bogged down with on the daily because that's my personality. I take everything very seriously.
Well, I mean, someone has to, right? I mean, it is part of running a business. You have to be responsible. And
100%. I've always my dad was the entrepreneur. He was the guy with the idea, and I'm really good at being the B team. And if you need me to, if you need your business to run, I'm your girl. Until you decide something else, because that's fun for me. That's my fun.
Well, I mean, that's certainly a skill needed there as well. I mean, Billy is an amazing pizza maker.
Yeah. No, I mean, Billy is he's the best of all the world. So he's the artist, he's the business person, and he has that, he can see the future as far as I'm concerned. But I can't make pizza. So he could probably do my job, but I couldn't do his job.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I'd go that far.
I always feel people say that, but
His attention span's a little lacking at times.
Well, I mean,
which is part of his charm, which I enjoy. But you know,
I always say like he's a polarizing personality, but he's gotten us this far. It hasn't been just me or just him.
Right.
Like if Billy Manzo was not here tomorrow and I woke up out of bed, I don't know if I'd be coming to the restaurant. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
I love it. I love my husband. I love work. Like if you gave me anything that like was work, I thrive with work. So, but I love seeing the business grow, and it's an interesting dynamic to be married and to work together, but it's all I know. Sure. Like I don't know anything else. Like I grew up in my family's business, and the one good thing is like Billy doesn't yell and scream. Like maybe I'd be at the Halloween outlet and maybe my dad may have like yelled a couple of times throughout the years.
The Arvanigian temper, yeah, that happens occasionally.
Just saying, I do love him, but let's just say that like the stress was high. Mm-hmm. And I don't have that type of pressure here, like ever. So I do my thing. He does his thing. And like when we need each other, we connect. So it works.
Yeah. So, all right. So you started Warren and that was going along very well. Yeah. And then you decided you needed a spot in Providence.
Yeah. So we've always been looking for a spot in Providence, and we're still looking for other spots in Providence. But this building was, it's in where Billy grew up. I can walk to work. He came here as a kid. There's a lot of memories in this building. It's a cool building.
So for people that don't know, it's the old Castle Theater on Chalkstone Avenue in Providence.
Correct. Yep. And, I think a lot of people, because Providence is so small and all of the real estate is literally owned by like the same, 4 people. I mean, so it really puts us
sometimes, yeah.
It puts us at a disadvantage as far as a lot of those people, like maybe they don't need the money to rent their spots. So maybe they stay empty. Like that's one of my theories. Like if you're working with the same 4 landlords, like you have no leverage as a tenant, right? Mm-hmm. So this building opportunity came up, and I think, my famous, like the quote that everybody always will say is like, I could have bought that building. Like the neighbor will come over and be like, I could have bought that building for $70,000. And I'm like, okay, well, do you want to buy it now for 1.7? Like, I don't know. Like
for everything you put into it. They didn't do it. You did it.
You didn't do it. We did it. And, like Manzo literally built this place with his 2 hands, and like, you didn't do it. Like we did it. And is the neighborhood an ideal neighborhood for our product? I would absolutely not. But was it a good investment as far as buying, our real estate portfolio? Sure, 100%. Yeah. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Right.
So we're not ever going to get hurt here. Like, and I think part of the reason that we're still here during COVID is because we don't have a mortgage to pay. Like, it is what we don't have rent to pay. It is what it is.
Right.
That's a big thing. So, so we're here, and obviously we have the space to do dine in if and when that happens.
It will return. How is a different story, but
honestly, I really love my life right now, David. I'm not changing it anytime soon. Like I love the whole curbside pickup, the delivery.
You're not alone. Many people the vast majority of the people I talk to don't want to switch back to dine-in yet.
I mean, it's never going to be the same. And right. So I'm not, kudos to everybody that's going to do it. I mean, listen, you're on the hill. It's the summer. That's your Halloween. Like you can't miss that.
Right.
But for us here, summer in the city anyway, like our numbers for the summer were what they were, and we're our catering's coming back. We're never going to get our events back. Everybody's canceled.
Yeah.
So what am I going to do with this room? That's the question. Like
that is the hardest thing when you own a room of that size. I know.
Right.
I mean, I've talked with different farmers about maybe doing spread out tables. I don't know.
Like, is the reward worth the risk? And what's the reward? Is the reward money? Like, for me, it's not money. Like, do I like to make money? Yeah. But for me, it's like the process and getting there. So there's always going to be money to be made in the world. That's my famous saying. As soon as it starts to suck, like, I'm not doing it. Like, as I had breast cancer. I have MS. I really just want to enjoy my days. And if they're not enjoyable, then I'm not going to put all this crazy pressure on myself for work. Like, the old Christine, 120% psychotic about work. But I've been having a great time. Like,
that's nice to hear.
I just have like a different, and I'm not saying that like if you don't have my outlook, but I think from my life experiences and being sick already, like, okay, I can pretty much deal with. I always say like God made me sick and not Billy, because there's no way I'd want to deal with like sick Billy. So God was like, I'll make you sick because you can deal with it.
Right.
Like, Billy will never even have like a fucking cold.
No, I understand. Brenda had her knee surgery back on March 5th. She had knee surgery. So first of all, she hobbled around for 2 months in pain. And never said a thing. And then had knee surgery on March 5th. And then, 10 days later, this all happened. If that, 9 days. And she wasn't supposed to go back to work, for a while, but she wanted to. But then it all became at home anyway. So she immediately went back to work.
Mm-hmm.
And and people were like, didn't she have knee surgery? And whereas it was me, I would have been on my back with my leg up for like 3 months.
It's the Armenian boy baby syndrome. My son.
Well, blame our mothers then. Is that it?
I do. I blame your mothers and your fathers. Like, I get it. Yeah. I have an older brother. I get it. I love
exactly. Him. I'm sure your mother treats him the same. Yeah.
He's amazing. But like, we get treated differently. It is what it is. Like, I do not have a penis. I do not get the same. It is just different. I got the brain, not the penis.
But you're the survivor. You're the fighter. I mean, like you said. So So when did you go through breast cancer? I mean, how hard was that for you? I mean, what obviously.
Well, it was like right before we were opening this place. So I think the last fun thing I did was like, my dad had male breast cancer back when I was in high school. His mother died of cancer when he was 19. My mother's mother had breast cancer, survived. My mother's sister, my aunt, died of breast cancer when she was 42. So it's like both, everywhere. So my dad never wanted to get tested like genetically because he didn't want to feel the burden of knowing that.
Yeah, that's.
So, whether or not that was, I'm glad it went down the way that it went down. So like my whole life, you go to the doctor and you get tested all the time, right? So they just screen you more when you have a family history.
Right.
And eventually my sister got diagnosed with breast cancer. And like, so then she sort of said, Dad, you have to get the genetic testing. Like, we need to know. So he was BRCA2, positive for the mutation. My sister too. I was like, there's no way that I'm going to have BRCA2 and MS. Like.
Well, so when were you diagnosed with MS?
Maybe 4 or 5 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
But then I denied it for a year, and then there was a big Armenian family meeting where I was forced to go on drugs. But in hindsight, they were right. When I'm feeling good, I'm like, do I have MS? And then my sister will call me and be like, bitch, shut up.
Drugs.
Go get your drugs.
Take your drugs.
Right. So So my sister finished chemo, and then my results came back that I was positive for BRCA2. And then I was like, I hope they find, like, honestly, like, I hope they just find something, because I don't want to, like, I'm a ticker, right. And I just want to, like, keep thinking,
when is this going to happen?
Right. So, like, I was going for all these tests, like every 6 weeks I'm in for a test. Finally, they found something, and I was like, okay, let's go. And so I had my double mastectomy, and I never looked back. Never. That's it.
No, I remember when the place opened, and you were there and going.
Oh my God. I told myself I was going to give myself 30 days for my surgery to be back to work. On day 30, I was back to work.
I remember
and
that.
Like, you know, you have like, it's stages, right? Expanders, blah, blah, blah. And so I gave myself like a day to get back to work after my second surgery. I went back. And then I think I got a little sick after I went back, like 24 hours after that surgery. I think that put my MS into overdrive, but that's just my personality. I have to give myself like a goal. And I think 99% of life probably is like your mental game, right?
Sure.
So I just like kind of...
Physical aspect is important, but you can, you fight through it, right?
Yeah, I like mind fuck my way into like getting through it. Did I have like some PTSD like 4 years later? Probably. But whatever, you just do what you have to do. My MS is way worse than my double mastectomy.
Yeah, I can't
Obviously, imagine. My MS is worse. Yeah, my MS is way more annoying to me because it's like time suckage. Because like you wanted to talk to me last week, like I couldn't get out of bed. Yeah. So here I am with one eyebrow, Armenian style.
I wouldn't. You look pretty well groomed for complaining about it.
I mean, come on, man. I can't wait to get back to like my blowouts and my brows. Come on. Your beard is perfectly groomed.
Thank you. I do that myself, so I can't.
Ani's taking care of Billy's ear hair. She's waxing it in the, so we're good. We're good.
So, yes, I was going to say we've gone almost half an hour now. You haven't mentioned your adorable daughter.
She's standing right there, right here. You can come here for 2 seconds. She's been at my mom's for like 8 weeks.
Hello, Ani.
What's up?
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
So she's back, and we're homeschooling. And now I know why my mom was calling me every day going, when's school over? When's school over?
Right.
When is school over? That is the question.
Our kids are June 12th. I don't know if they've said.
So I heard that, but I don't accept that. Is there someone I can talk to?
I guess you could call the Department of Education. I don't know. I mean, you can call Gina if you want.
No, I think I feel like I have to call sister at school and be like,
well, yeah, you could call the school and complain, I suppose.
Can you negotiate this? That's my favorite part of life is negotiation. I'm wondering if I could negotiate as a May 31st school end date.
It would have made sense.
Props to Mr. Broussard at St. Pius. He is like he's so calm. I'm like behind the scenes, like screaming, and like he's just making it fun.
Yeah, this is not easy. It's
no.
crazy. How much? I mean, there's the fact that does she see the kids? Does she get a chance to play? I mean.
So she's been, like I said, she's been with my family. And so my sister's daughter, my niece,
okay,
they're 2 months apart. So they're best friends. Like that's their jam. So they've been together the whole time. It's Worcester life. They got the pool. They got I went to pick her up. She's got a phone. She's got 7 new pairs of sneakers. Like, I'm like, you really want to come back to Providence? She's like, well, I want to see you. I was like,
it's good. I mean,
like, okay. Meanwhile, like I sent her with nothing and she came back with, Armenian style. It's just
grandparents. I know.
It's a grandparent. Like,
yeah,
she just, they do, and Billy's mom, like pretty much raised Ani here. So she's been super lucky to have both sets of grandparents And it really does take a village. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to get anything done today with her here. Like,
Right.
because they need your attention, right?
Yes.
And
That's a benefit to having two in my case. I wouldn't have gone for three, but two, they can go off. I mean, half the time they're fighting too, but whatever, they're fighting on their own.
Right. So this one is like, she needs a lot of attention because she's the only one. I get it. But, and of course, like as a mother, like everything is going to fall to you, right? Like if you're, like I have working mom friends who shall remain nameless. She's not in Rhode Island, who has 3 kids. They own a bunch of businesses that she runs. I called her, I'm like, you homeschooling? She's like, no. And I'm talking like, she also has help. Like she has help too. And she's like, no, we just can't do it. We're not doing it. We can't do it.
No, it's nearly impossible. It's true.
I think it's a burden of all parents, but I think like as a woman, like you also have a lot of extra pressure in a different way.
I can
like,
that.
Luckily Billy Manzo does the laundry and cleans because like I do not do those things.
I'm good with laundry. Cleaning, I'm so.
No, I could never be organized or clean enough for Billy, so he just has to do it because he's like the most type A. And to his testament, like I don't have any room in my brain for those things. My brain is thinking about other things, and my cleaning lady has not been able to come to the house since COVID thing, and it takes a lot of pressure off me. Like if I am not feeling well, like I'm not doing the laundry. Like I can't waste. I call my spoons. I can't waste my spoons on doing the laundry. I have more important things to do.
It's understandable
for me.
Like I said, you're running an empire. I'm
running an empire. Yeah, we are actually. I mean, it's funny to see like the trajectory of my life, like going from my parents' business to this business, and still the same obstacles, right? So like if you're unwilling to like take on partners or take other people's money or anything like that, it's like a different way of growth, right?
Right. Yeah.
So when my parents did it, we had 10 stores. At one point it was like 4 stores made money, 4 stores lost money, 2 stores broke even. What are we doing this for? So I think it's interesting to see how you can grow your business in 2020. Like, do more locations necessarily mean more money? They have to be, and especially here in Rhode Island, it has to be an A+ location.
Yeah, right.
Like, we're looking on the east side. Like, we've been selling our pizzas. Milena from Rebel, she was kind enough to come to me and say, hey, Chris, like, let's figure out how we can work together.
That's wonderful.
And so it was a litmus test for us. So we sold a lot of pizzas during the beginning of this on the east side because people from the east side don't want to come to Chalkstone. And I get it. I get it. So now it's time to like look for new locations in like A+ locations and just not give up that search. But yeah, so we'll see. Airport, this, that, our wholesale is ramping up again, and merchandise, stuff like that.
You've got the dough wholesale. I know conversationally with Billy, we've mentioned the world of frozen pizza. Is that something you're looking at still? Or?
Yeah, so.
Wow.
Hold on 1 second. You're done your homework? Good job. Did you tell your father? Okay.
Very nice.
He went home to eat.
Oh, good.
Because he has to eat at his certain times.
Okay.
And he's at the gym. I really pray,
geez.
Gina, please open the gym
so back up.
Manzo can go to the gym. That's my prayer. But yeah, so we're doing the wholesale. Today we're sending out a bunch of stuff to a vacuum packer.
I love that idea. That'd be cool.
How it comes back, like before we buy the piece of equipment.
Right.
So like, that's just, I've been in a deep dive of like vacuum sealers and gas sealers and that sort of thing, because we have a market for it. We know it because we're already doing it. Like if I'm packing stuff in ice and like sending it to friends or.
Exactly.
Yeah. And once we have that, we never had that piece of machinery when we were doing it before, and we were successful. So now's the time to like do that. And plus we have all this space. So like, does this turn into manufacturing?
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's
or like
the option.
Yeah. So that could be an option. I don't know. This space it's a polarizing space for me right now. Like as people are calling to cancel their events, because this is a space that like, makes the money with the events.
Right.
But we also have been like picking up so many new customers just because they legit, people just literally don't know we're here. No,
it's true. It takes a while for people to figure it out and for people to get used to ordering and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Do you do your own delivery? You use services or?
No, we do our own delivery. I shut off Uber Eats because I can't stand it.
Mm-hmm.
We have a presence on Grubhub because I feel like you kind of have to until you train people to go to your own online ordering site. But, a lot of our customers, we're not selling $5 pizzas. A lot of our customers are older. Like a lot of people in this neighborhood are older. Like they're not necessarily on all the social media platforms. And that's been a big not issue for us, but like to figure out how to get to those people, right?
Well, because this used to be, you could put an ad in the Providence Journal and all those people would find out. Well,
right.
That doesn't happen anymore. You could, people advertise with my website and obviously I want to give them, the best they can get, but truthfully, it's an online website. I mean, that's still not going to hit, the entire population, obviously.
Yeah. Like, how are we getting like Billy's parents who are 70? They have money to spend on pizza or food, and like, where are they looking? Those are the questions. And I think Rhode Island has a lot of older people. Look at Greg's; they're pretty successful.
Yeah,
we're the youngest people every time we go in there.
Yeah, it's a very good point. That's where Brenda's mom takes the girls all the time.
You know what you're going to get.
Yeah,
it's our go-to. You know what you're going to get. Never going to be disappointed. The service is fine, and it's not going to break the bank, and it's clean. Okay.
Right.
It hits all the marks, but every time you go in there, it's like Blue Hair City, right?
Yeah. No, it's true.
They're doing something right.
Oh, absolutely doing something right. Yeah, no, without a doubt.
Yeah. So like, I've stopped trying to figure out how to get like young people in here because it's just like it's not happening. Like we have a lot of people that are my age, 44 and older, and people in their 30s too, but to get that millennial group of people, it's like you need to have some sort of inside, like I'm too old, like I can't figure it out, right?
I don't want that, but okay.
I mean, like my brain is, I'm doing other things, right? So, like, luckily we have Hector here. He's 23. Like he's like instant. Like he goes out. Like he knows what younger people like to do. Like we don't like to admit it, but we are getting older. And my 10-year-old is the one posting our TikToks. I can't do it. It is what it is.
Hey, that's work.
Right?
Good work for her. Good work. Good ethic for her to learn the family business.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that she's going to be in the restaurant business, but...
No.
I don't think so. What do you want to be when you grow up? She's a boss, though.
I want to be
a photographer or something?
like a mom.
There you go.
Nice.
She's only 10. We'll give her a couple years to figure it out.
Why not? Yeah.
She's learned a lot by just being here. I mean,
I'm sure, right.
For good or for bad, like for anybody that's in the restaurant business that has to take your kid to work, like there's good and there's bad, right? Like you see it all. So they're like wise beyond their years, but I grew up the same way, and I'm awesome, right?
How nice.
That was the Billy in her.
Yeah, there you go.
Me. I'll be over that.
Do you also have a draw? Your beer selection, your line, has always been key to that business.
Yeah,
I mean, is that a draw as well, or do you find that as advertising?
So in the past, sure, we have like 19 on tap in Warren and 24 here in Providence. But as breweries open their own, people go direct to the brewery, right? So I think it's like a nice addition. But like, could you live and die by it anymore in 2020? No, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything like so special that you could get that would make people want to come just for the beer. Mm-hmm. People are coming for our food, and I'm happy with that.
Oh, well, yeah, definitely. That's without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, obviously liquor sales are a thing, but like we've always sort of sold, like people are coming for the food and they're drinking, Yeah. Would Billy like that to be different because the money is in the booze? Sure, but like I think that happens incrementally.
Yeah.
But like Warren, we don't have the space. Like no one's coming to the bar just to drink in Warren.
Right.
Like, they don't want to wait outside for an hour to get in, so they're sitting at the bar and they're eating because it's just space. So
it's a very good point.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
But you've got that food. That Al Taglio is,
You have that Al Taglio swag.
That pizza is phenomenal. I love it. I'll be having it again this week.
I met the Sprout guy's Armenian too.
Oh yeah, John. Yeah.
I gave him a bottle of Armenian wine.
Oh, very nice.
He was awesome.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yeah. So we're doing that this week. Pizza. We do our Pizza Thursday thing at Sprout.
Is that happening this Thursday?
It is. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Does he go to it?
Not usually. That's not true. He's been a few times, over the last few years.
Right.
But usually it's a small group of us who work in the office.
Yeah. Are you going to the office or do you just home?
What's that?
Are you going into Sprout or like are you going there or?
So this Thursday we will do just the two of us in the office.
Yep.
A socially distanced Pizza Thursday. Stacy's going to get the pizza, and I left it to her, but she better get me to Arthur Avenue. I didn't even think about that. I love that. That pizza is so good.
Let me put it in my notes. No, we try to do a good job.
You do a great job.
This kid is like...
What?
She's crawling around on the floor. She's got a glove. She's got a softball. Like she has an entire like house with a backyard that she could be playing in right now, but she decided to stay with mom.
But you bought her a movie theater.
I know that. But she's not like she's watching movies here.
No, but it's a fun place. It's a very fun place.
And most importantly, Armenian camp this summer. Camp Hayastan.
Is it open?
Here, if it's open or closed.
I mean, I don't really care because there's usually like cockroaches in my.
You should go over there. Yeah, we send her to camp with cockroaches. The cabins are like it's
outdoors. It's nice.
There's no air conditioning.
Right.
It's not the 4 seasons. It's not even like the 2 seasons.
Right.
You're there with your friends, and mommy went there and daddy went there. And that's where you go and you love it and you'll get over the bugs.
Exactly.
I tell you. And like the only thing we've been talking about is like, oh my God, if there's no camp. It's 2 weeks, it's overnight. It's like a big part of their thing.
Sure. Right.
But then like, of course, Billy said, if they do open it, he doesn't necessarily want to send her. And I'm just like,
what's it going to be like? Yeah.
Am I the bad parent? Like, I think like the memories of not going, like to me is like, I used to go for more than 2 weeks. Like that was a defining thing for my upbringing was going to Camp Hayastan. I have the same friends that I've had since I was 8 years old.
Nice.
My Armenian girlfriends, like that's my core. And, I want her to have that too. So to miss a year is probably like hurting my feelings more than anybody, but we'll see what happens, right?
See what happens. I mean, we're in such an area of unknowns right now.
I know. I know. And I don't think things are going to change anytime soon. And I'm just living with the quiet, I guess, until things change.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, are your girls still doing dance? Like,
they get on Zoom dance, which is not particularly great.
no, it's not great.
I mean, they enjoy it. They enjoy seeing their friends and that sort of thing. But, there's not, the time sync and you can't really do music over it or, yeah.
I mean, it's sad to think so Ani's 10, right? This is what she's going to remember. Like you kind of start to remember stuff now, right?
Oh, definitely. Oh, I'm sure they'll remember this.
Yeah. Like are they going to remember what life was like before this? Like, I don't know.
It depends on how much of it we can get back to. That's a very good question. It's a very good question.
As a mother, like, is this kid going to be like having to wear a mask? And is this going to be all she remembers? Like, there's not going to be any other, like, how about all the times when we were like at Disney on Ice or, you don't remember those things.
It's a good point. It's a very good point.
She remembers the motorcycles. We went to Hot Dog Annie's this weekend. Because every good Worcester kid.
So she'll remember things.
Yeah, well, if you put a hot dog in front of this kid's face, it's gone. It has no chance.
I understand. Moira's the same way. Hot dogs are the thing. I know.
It's a thing. It is.
Well, all right. Anything else you wanted to talk about before we get to my little closing question here?
Oh, we have a closing questionnaire?
We do.
All right. Yeah. No, I'm ready. Whatever you are. I'm going to ask my daughter to go in the other room. So I love you, and I'm working. So go over there. Walk it out.
It's a dozen questions I've borrowed from some other shows in the past, and they're just kind of something to find out who you are.
Oh my God!
Here we go. You ready?
Is there a copay attached to this therapist?
No, it's not like no therapy here. Sorry.
You don't want to fucking be in here. No. You don't want to be in here, but go ahead.
All right, Christine. What is your favorite word?
My favorite word, vacuous.
Vacuous, nice word. Interesting.
Thank you.
What is your least favorite word?
Money.
What turns you on, creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Connecting with people but mostly negotiating. I'm great at it. I love it. It's fulfilling to me. So if anybody out there needs anything negotiated, you let me know.
All right.
Yeah. But part of that is like the conversation, right? I love to have that conversation with somebody on the phone or in person, figuring out how to get what you need.
Well, yeah.
That turns me on.
All right.
And Billy Manzo.
Of course.
This is going to be on for longevity. I guess I have to say that.
Yes, you should. Right.
Okay.
What turns you off?
Complaining and being a victim. Like you seriously can do whatever you want in your life.
Yep.
Like my husband came from nothing. I did not come from nothing. I understand, like I had loving parents. We had money, like we had a business. I get it. But you have other like roadblocks in your life, like sickness and whatever. And you just have to like really be positive and push through your shit because everybody has something.
Very true.
Like, do you think the glass is half full or half empty? I really, really, truly believe in that. And I also have a great faith in God. Or there's something else out there. And if you went to Arvanigian church, you would know that.
I did.
That was for your father and for my father.
Yes, there you go. The dads will appreciate that.
Okay.
All right. What is your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
The standard.
I mean, I didn't use it as much before I met my husband, but that's his go-to word too. So yeah.
Solid.
Yeah, it's a solid word.
What sound or noise do you love?
I love the sound at home when I get home from work and it's nothing. And like I'm up by myself just with no noise.
That's the same answer, Chef Andy at Newport Vineyards gave.
Well,
That's silence, yeah.
It has to be, because the rest of the day is people asking you for things.
So what sound and noise do you hate?
People asking me for things. Because if you thought about it, it's always easier to go to somebody and ask, right? But if you thought about it, you could figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just figure it out. Like, I think that's a skill and a talent, but like, you have to have faith in yourself to be able to have those answers. It's like your child coming to you and asking you a question. And you're like, I always say to Ani, like, think about it, get back to me. So I don't know if that answered your question, but.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite ingredient or flavor?
I love Armenian food, and I love the maleb and choreg.
Ooh.
So that has
Very
like
specific.
Choreg is like my great grandmother who was from Rhode Island. She came to live with us when we were younger, like for stretches, and she would get up at 4 a.m. and she would make the choreg. And then we'd come home from school and it would be there, and then she'd say the next day, honeys, don't share. I work too hard. Like, basically, like, don't give it to your friends.
Right.
Or she was going to be very upset because it was
for you.
A lot of work. So I remember that a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot of work. Yeah, I haven't made it in ages, but it is a lot of work. The yeast and dough and all, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. It's a lot, but that's worth it. But it goes in like 2 seconds. You make it.
Oh yeah.
People are like to buy and eating it, and by the end of it, it's like, what did I even make it for?
Yeah. No, it is very true. It does go awfully quick. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's it's not a dessert, but it's kind of, the sweetness is nice. And
my great grandmother Navart, her recipe is used at St. Barton's at church, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
She was a really great cook.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. So now, what is your least favorite ingredient or flavor?
I hate like spicy stuff.
Oh.
I'm not into spicy stuff at all.
Okay.
Like, not even a little bit.
All right. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Like working for somebody?
Oh, never. Any profession.
Like, never.
No, we're not working for other people. But what profession?
So this is a question that I've had like my whole life, right? Like, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
I know what I'm good at. And I know what I like to do. What that translates into as far as a job, I don't know. Like, I would say that like before COVID, I would have loved to have like a gift shop with like cards and stuff. Like, I love waiting on people, selling people stuff, and I love like gift items. Is that going to happen?
No. It's a theoretical. Who knows?
I don't know. But what I am going to do is I'm going to make our wholesale business blow the fuck up.
That's fantastic. Good.
I'm good at that.
I'm sure you will.
If I put my mind to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the product's great, so now it's just about selling.
Yeah. Or like if somebody had a problem, like I'm really good at collections. I do that for my mom and dad still for their business.
You lean on people a little.
I'm like
kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm like the entity. Like listen, you don't get anything by being rude and mean, right?
Right.
And that's my theory about life. Like, I want to like be nice without being walked on, but everybody's going through their own shit, right? Like everybody. So whenever I talk to somebody, I try to say like, I know they're probably going through some shit, no matter how much money they have or don't have. Like, I've learned in my life that what you have for money does not equal your contentment with your life. Like, take it from me.
Very true.
Doesn't matter. It really doesn't. And if that's like your goal in life, you're never going to get there.
No, it can't be the end all, no, by any means.
It's just not. It isn't. Yeah.
Okay. What profession would you not like to do?
What would I not like to do? I don't think that I would like to do, I don't know. I wouldn't be good at, like, I hate managing people. Like, I'm bad at it. So
All right.
I don't want to be the manager. I don't want to be in human resources. Let's put it that way. I'm the worst human resources person on planet Earth because I really have, like, sometimes I have, because of my sickness, my patience is.
And it wasn't like that before you were diagnosed, right? Your patience was immense.
Well, it is genetic. I also blame that on Gary.
Uh-huh.
I am my father's daughter 120%. I try, like, but now, like, I did yell at somebody the other day because I just couldn't take it anymore. But now, like, the new me, I apologized.
Good for you.
Did it make me feel better? Do I still think I was right? But I did it for the other person.
But you did it.
I took one for the team.
There you go.
Gary never would apologize. No. Because he doesn't have anything to apologize for, David.
Well, I understand.
Yeah.
All right, the final question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Heaven definitely exists, or something. No doubt in my mind. I would like to hear him say, okay, you can rest now.
All right. You'll have earned it.
Ani, what? You want pizza? I don't know. She wants to get to heaven and have pizza.
Well, look, she's already close to it, so that's good.
Pizza Nirvana.
Pizza Nirvana.
Yay.
Well, Christine, this has been a pleasure. It's always great to talk with you. It's nice to catch up.
I didn't blow you off for another week.
No. It's all right. We
got me on an up day.
You're very up. I thought this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, good. I'm glad.
So thank you so much.
All right.
Take care.
We'll talk to you soon.